All right, we're rolling live from the wasteland out here in the survival pod. This is Freedom Phil, and what's the topic? As predictable as the sun going up and the sun going down, the Democrats send out their protesters to pretend they care about something that they just had signs printed up freshly yesterday. Yes, the protests going on all over the country when it comes to the anti-Iran war, pro-Iowa, anti-American Democrats. And I point this out because isn't it interesting that you can still vote for a party that's completely racist, completely anti-American, complete trash? Where am I going with this? This is Freedom Phil, like, subscribe. Let's get into it and always turn up the video speed. And why do I always say that? Because if you're watching this after I upload it, you should watch it at 1.75. The name of the channel is literally the instruction on what to do. Like, subscribe. Let's get into it. I'm watching these reports from protests all over the country. And of course, it's the predictable crowd. Pre-printed signs look like paid protesters or just your general gutter punk anarchists mixed in with some bored suburban Karens. And the most angry, violent ones always have a mask on. Oh, they're so right and they so believe in what they're doing that they wear a mask. Almost like you're kind of afraid of eventual consequences if the country shifts the other direction. Isn't that interesting? You see these people out there basically stumping for the Ayatollah. A bunch of people that would claim to be feminist and talk about women's and gays' rights. Stumping for a guy that would have thrown you off a building and literally prescribed prison guards raping female prisoners to guarantee they would go to hell under their religious belief. For the crime of maybe a little hair is showing outside of the hijab. A lot of these people that are protesters, and I know that it'll fall on deaf ears for those retards. Why don't you look into how women were being treated over in good old Iran under the Ayatollah? It's so funny when you see the actual Iranians that escaped Iran, and they're celebrating. And then you see a bunch of fucking brain-lulled Americans, brain-lulled idiot Americans, skull full of mush, Democrat foot soldiers. Let's call them what they are. Because I don't see the major Democrat Party casting these people out. No, they're the foot soldiers. They are the modern equivalent of the KKK. Oh, you can't say that. You can bet if these people could get away with killing people, they would. They would. Just understand, the party of segregation, the party of the Confederacy. The Confederacy became the Democrats, and the foot soldiers of the Democrats back then were the KKK. Had lists of people, white, black, what the fuck ever. If they were Republicans, they were trying to eliminate their political competition. What do you think these people are out on the streets today? What do you think? And by the way, no offense, people, but here's how I roll. I don't mind reading comments, but if you're not a subscriber, why are you talking? That's just fair. That's just fair. I want to have people around that are real ones. Fuck, it's free, so you ain't even got any real skin in the game. But I ask you this. When you see these protesters, understand that is the modern Democrat KKK. These people go out there and harass people. And it didn't even we're not even a week into this. And you already got domestic terror events happening all over the place. And they try to hide it. And you look at the names of some, like there was a guy, even in that protest, a couple guys that tried to do some pipe bomb action. The situation where they got a little deal there, and it's covered in like nuts, bolts, and screws. Luckily, they were too incompetent to make a proper bomb. There's your Allah Akbar people right there. They're showing right up. You had that guy that had a coat on that said "Property of Allah" with an Iranian flag underneath. This is what you're defending. Somebody in, I think it was jolly old England or over in Europe, there was a plane incident where some guy was going off, screaming Allah Akbar. This is what you're protesting for. You know, I just think you can't be a Democrat at this point. You cannot be a Democrat and not own these people. This is your party. This is your people. Just like the KKK was your people. Hell, go back in time to jolly old Europe. National Socialist Party, Nazis. Hey, socialist, kind of lefty. The authoritarian left, just like the communism. How many fucking problems that came out of Europe became the world's problems? You know? And then you see these people, the same people, they're all about segregation back in the day. Made the welfare rolls. To try to buy votes from poor people. White, black, what the fuck ever. Go listen to what Lyndon B. Johnson said about it. Go listen to what he thought black people were useful for. You know, nobody is thrilled about having a war, but there is a price for inaction. And the price is that if Iran got a nuke or got enough material even to make small dirty bombs, you know, small dirty bombs, you could have an incident in one of these cities. You got the situation where if you go and look at the funding of terrorism from the Ayatollah's regime, how many countries are dealing with like you go into African countries and they're seeing Christians being wholesale slaughtered. And I'm not a fan of any Abrahamic religion, but I think it's a little funny how the Democrats can be really silent about a group that funds the wholesale slaughter of other people. You know, they're like, oh my God, we're having a war with a guy, an insane butcher of people. On the first day, we took the big man out. Now they appointed one of his sons. You got to just put that in perspective for a second. And they're trying to hide him real good. I wonder if it'll take a week or so for us to get him. And then they start saying, well, we're not going to name the next guy. Because they all know what happens. Iran is just creeping with Mossad agents. Or Assad, however you say the damn thing. They're everywhere. They're like blades of grass. You can't hide that type of shit. And you got over 80% of the Iranian people we're sick of the Ayatollah. We're sick of the religious nuttery. Vast majority in America, our elections come down to like a 49-51 split. Maybe if we're lucky, we'll say, oh, it was a blowout, it was 52%. In Iran, you got 80% of the people who just want something different. And who are these Democrats protesting for? Anti-American, anti-freedom of choice for a woman to walk down the street without being covered in a giant Muslim pup tent. No. These Democrats are protesting for the worst fucking shit. Yeah, you know, it's amazing that these regimes lasted as long as they did. Do you know that $1 American gets you, what is it? I think their currency is the real. A 1 million real. $1 American gets you 1 million real. Do you think that after running their country into the ground so consistently, so many times, that there isn't an undercurrent of people that were willing to protest and actually die for their beliefs in Iran? Thousands of people dead for standing up for a better future. That is what these Democrats out there are protesting against. They're anti-American, they're anti-regular Iranian, and basically they're anti-woman, anti-gay, but they'll say, oh, we're for all those good things. We're for all the good things. Just as long as we don't have to ever change anything. I mean, like, where the fuck? Okay, Where am I wrong about this? We got Christopher here, whatever his name is. Where am I wrong about this? What are the Democrat protesters protesting for? They're protesting for Iran. These people talking about, we can't afford to live. You live in one of the most expensive cities on the goddamn planet. There are a lot of places all over America you could have been doing fine. I don't see Christopher saying shit now. Shit, I don't even got it on slow mode. Yeah, they choose to live in the most expensive cities, and they complain about the cost of living. The cost of living, spend that money on us. Why the fuck should we spend it on somebody who's dumb enough to live in a city that taxes you that much and costs that much to live? Oh, let's see what little Chris says. They're protesting not to kill innocent lives. Innocent lives. You know what? Your inaction is the problem. The fact that this brutal regime wasn't taken out ages ago is the reason that so many thousands, not a few, thousands of protesters in Iran got executed. What does it say about your government when they're shooting at people from buildings into people's apartment buildings to assassinate people regularly? And not just like a few. We're talking thousands of people dead for trying to have a better country. The Iranian people aren't some stupid backwoods savages. They're actually highly educated, intelligent people. And it takes some balls. Any fucking idiot could go out there with a sign and, break shit. That's an American protest, by the way. Burning American flags and breaking shit and then screaming that fascism and all that other crap. Fucking just giant hard R levels of retard. Capital R levels of retard. As were those people over in Iran who are actually fighting for something better for their future. Then we see the American protests. A bunch of basically Antifa, paid thugs, going out there and destroying stuff. Well, let's see. Oh, we got one of those guys. Yeah, sure, Chris. I actually served this country, dipshit. Service members. You know what? Fuck you, dude. Let me tell you something. How many service members died in Afghanistan? It's sad. It's a tragic thing anytime we lose a soldier. What, 2,500? 2,500. 800 to 900 truckers die every year, making sure that your grocery stores, your food doesn't stop moving. You sign on that dotted line to be in the military. Occasionally you get deployed. Cry me a fucking river, brother. Well, it's different because what? Because the casual deaths of my people get swept under the rug? What about people that are dying in the mining industry, logging, all the other things? Oh, is there a big protest over that? Nope. Goes on the news and here's Tom with the weather. I'm sick and tired of people like, what? You sign up for the military, and then when things get a little real, oh my God, don't send us over. I only signed that I would do this if I was ordered to do it. Man, what the fuck? I did tell you how I really feel. I ain't hiding shit. When I look at the military technological superiority that America has, you're talking about this as if it's going to be like, tens of thousands of people. This could be some biblical levels of soldier death. When we all know we're already cleaning up that regime right now. It would surprise me if this war lasts any more than a month. Yeah. Now let's see. Let's make people actually think, because I'm tired of all these weak little comments. What do you mean? I want to see people giving like an actual thought out comment, not just 5, 6 fucking little like masturbation ejaculation comments that I see right here. These leftists, they get real mad. I don't know, maybe 2 weeks. I don't know. I look at the situation in Iran, and you couldn't ask for a better time to take care of this evil regime. Oh, we got a guy here that's We got a funny one there, huh? Huh? Oh, there's your little spanking there. See you later. Just because you subscribe don't mean I'm going to put up with your stupid shit. But like I said before, I see a whole lot of protesters that are anti-American. Same people that would chant and celebrate soldiers' deaths are sitting there trying to say we're anti-war. No, you're anti-American. And if you're a Democrat and you're still voting with that party, understand the modern KKK is the protesters. These people are exactly the same. People talk about some of the crazy shit the right's done, and I'll give you credit there. There's some crazies on the right. But when the right's up, the whole apparatus comes down on them. When J6 happened, for people breaking in and walking into a building, one woman died, and people were locked in prison without trial for basically 4 years. There's a difference. When you're a Democrat protester and you burn down cars, break things, destroy people's businesses, oh, here's a slap on the wrist, and they're right back out on the streets doing the same shit. Yeah, there's a lot of these people out there. You know what, dude? You talk about a 20-year war. Let's just be real about it. I don't think those wars were intended to be won. 20-year wars. They were a 20-year war because the government and the fucking rich people were making money off the weapons contracts. That was intended to be that way. It's funny how many Democrats talk about the 20-year wars, but they don't ever say a word about Obama's forgotten war. Does anybody remember Libya? When they went in there and they shot for about like a month, maybe less than a month. Lord knows how many missiles to blow up Libya, to kill Gaddafi. Part of the reason for that was Gaddafi was talking about going to the gold standard for selling oil. And a lot of other countries back then would have loved to get away from the petrodollar. Oh, they don't talk about that. What makes you think that this war isn't going to be like Obama's war? Where basically we go in there with military superiority and eliminate the enemy in a fast, efficient way. See, this whole, we're going to change the heart and minds of people in the Middle East. No. People in the Middle East are going to be and do as they say. But you'll notice the highly prosperous countries in the Middle East, they even say, we don't allow this authoritarian level of Islam to exist. They eliminate it. So if the prosperous countries in the Middle East keep this shit on clamp, and by the way, Iran immediately attacked all their neighbors. It's like a guy getting kicked out of the party and just punching random holes in the drywall as he walks out. No. Understand, these protesters are basically funded by anti-American, probably some communist money there, some type of Soros money there. And if you're still voting Democrat, look, man, you're a sorry-ass soul. But that's my thoughts. Good to piss off some Democrats in the morning. It's better than coffee. Freedom Phil, like, subscribe. Take it easy.